Sorry, I'm just getting the last few things sorted as set up, because things are causing problems at the moment in the background. Don't mind it. Hope everyone's doing well today, though. Very, having been now a week after the alpha release, you'd have thought that, like, I would have recovered by now. It's, surprising how long it takes, huh? Okay, that's done. Now we need music. And then let's see. You gonna figure it out? There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, all right. So, I kind of want to talk a bit about the alpha release today, and like just general stuff around it, if that's okay. That'll probably be like the predominant thing I talk to for at least an hour. So I apologize in advance, I guess, but if the engine wants to actually fucking launch. But yeah, no, it's... So, I cannot stress how much, like, it was extremely stressful and intense to try and get this release done. I'm very thankful to my friend for being there. Like, my best mate was there with me in the last day for it. What's happening? I'm just talking about the alpha release now for the game. But yeah, no, like it was a rough day. I had definitely let the stress actually get to me for making that alpha release in the time frame that I'd given, which has taught me I'm not probably going to give a time frame like that again. Not for a long time. So just bear with me when it comes to stuff. I still want the final alpha release to be done before the end of the year, and that gives me about 1.5 months to just straight work only on this project when it does come to that time. But the long time is a time frame for the time. Yeah, true. That is fair. That is a fair statement. But it is the only reason I say, like, I do want to give time frames in the future. Like, I don't want to not tell you when that sort of stuff's happening. This is Monster Sanctuary music. Yes, it is. Like, I don't want to say no time frames, but I'm also going to probably be a little bit more cautious about them in the future, because while I managed to make this one, I didn't make it in a way that I am happy with, and that's kind of the problem. Too bad it's so quiet. Well, I mean, I have to keep it low enough that I can speak over and make the game sounds come through. Like, my audio capture is almost always like double the negative decibelling that my mic is. So my mic's like -4, whereas the audio capture is -8. Just because I don't like too loud of things. And I know that if I leave it all at like max, it's just actually deafening. Dance quietly. Yeah, fair. Also, it is supposed to just be background music while I do this, so. Oh, so. I don't know how many people have actually ended up playing this. I know I've seen 7 downloads now. Last I checked. Let me double check again. Yeah, 7 downloads on the itch page, the itch.io page. I know one of which is actually my lecturer. Which that I found really entertaining. Let's see. So what's today gonna be then for programming before we get too in-depth in the analysis of the alpha release? Today is going to be fixing issues I saw in the alpha release. Now, there was a couple of weapons I disabled, and I think there's also a couple of weapons that still had this issue. Can I see what that the Yu-Yu character? Oh yeah. By the way, you know how I said like it was fine as long as it took me like an hour? Yeah, that took me half a day to get working. Fucking, where is it? Grandpa's deck. There's the function. Yeah. It's a mess, honestly. I need to fix it quite a bit, but the general gist, because of the jerry rigging and stuff like that I have, it works. But yeah, so has a little Karibo that spawns, goes Monster Reborn, so if you would die, you heal to, I think, was it full or half? I can't remember. My function has no pathetic cards, Kaiba, yeah. And then Mirror Force gives, was it 2 instances of damage reduction initially? Or damage, I think. Can I see some gameplay? I can show a little bit, but there's only so much I can show with it. Actually, I should probably enable the... I don't have a way of showing the res effect is active, other than like output dialogue, right? Okay, so he's got Mirror Force on him right now, so if I run into things, took no damage. Now I take damage. So it gave me a few instances of not taking damage. So I'm waiting for the next one to turn up. Give him reflection. Keep in mind it's like every, what was 60 seconds or some shit like that. But it does have the full functionality that was discussed. So was it Monster Reborn gives a res effect, Mirror Force gives damage reduction, and then little Karibo has like a little thing that rotates around you giving knockback. We'll go the Atlantean Trident, why not? Got Mirror Force again. Oh, hello. Script line. So that's still an issue. Seems to be wiggling, yeah. I thought I solved this issue. So I roughly know where that is. This. I will have to look into why this isn't working. Because this should collapse onto this, right? Yeah. So this should be just this stuff. And that get should return true or false, no? Or it should return the type. Function will and assign, or else it will return to show that the object has no parent assigned to it, or -1 if the object being checked does not exist. So yeah, it should return the object. Type. So why is that actually causing a script error then? Get one incorrect time instance being expecting an object. Oh, is that what's happening? Do I need to type that? I think that's actually all I need to do. Well, we'll see quickly. Oh, there you go. There's the Karibo. You can see it has a fair bit of a knockback. Doesn't do much damage, but it does knock back. Now, there's a lot of things I'd like to fix, but I'm actually waiting on a couple of things to be given to me before I can actually make some of those fixes. So I do apologize about that, but kind of gotta go with what we got, right? There's an argument to be made that like the cooldown could be probably drastically reduced and the duration could be pushed up a bit. Because it does feel that currently the item is really, really weak. Oh. I need to show when buffs happen because I can't tell, but reflection buff just triggered there. Man, if I could just get the healing fucking trigger. Oh well. Okay, so it looks like I fixed that issue. That's one thing. So I was going to go back to, I think it's in O controller at the moment. The dev tools are disabled. Yeah, I need to make an actual proper thing for these. Now, I want to double check because I think I may have changed something here. Yeah, so I need to change these to check pressed. And then I don't need to have the lockout system that I had, which is really stupid. Okay, and escape key lock. So I need to find the escape key quickly. This. Okay, so one of the weapons I know was having the issue was the hand reveal. And I think also ink sprayer may have been. So I'm gonna launch the game and force some levels to see if I can find out. What was it? Oh, hello. Compile error. So fucking glad this tells me so much about the compile error. Global okay, so it's in the global. Oh. Use the wrong thing. Yeah. Blah. 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 So we're looking for very specific weapons that seem to okay, ink sprayer. So yes, this just crashes. Or just causes a lag spiral or something. What is going on? Okay, I didn't open it and debug that time. Let's fix that. So we'll just quickly test it like this, and then we'll just put in some brakes. Interesting. The FPS average just locks in and it just sticks. So I am going to have to follow up on this. So hand reveal and ink sprayer. What could be causing an issue with these? Oh, hey, yeah, he's is a birdie. Hope all's going well. Is it this? Yeah, I'm gonna say it's that. So let's try changing that. So let's try the changing out continue with exit. And see if that continues to be a problem. I don't like the idea of using exit here. I prefer to use something different. But if it is causing an error, yep. Okay, so that was the issue. Okay, so that's that solved. But now, though, I need to do something better, is because I don't like the idea of just like, if you pause the game, you lose part of your weapon. That sounds really, really shit. Okay. So that was one of the big bugs that I saw before release. So that fixes that issue. Means I can re-enable that weapon when I feel necessary. That didn't take too long. At least that was a simple-ish resolution. I could work at figuring out why I can't just have it loop in a better way. I'll try and figure out an answer, because I do have the space for that at the moment. Oh, well. I also feel real terrible for not having, was it Nina in the game on release? Just because, like, I could not get her assets done in time. It took me long, and like, the assets for already some of the weapons is scuffed as fuck, so I'm not happy about them, but they're in. One of the ones I was actually surprised at how happy I am with the assets is the trident one. Y'all seen the trident splash? Look at that. That's fucking nice. For something that I did in like the space of a minute or two, that looks really fucking nice. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Okay. It's also, okay, and I want to stress, it's really awkward because there's a couple of things I want to tinker with, but I don't want to tinker with while someone else is, so to reiterate, I have a friend that's also helping me out with this. He is currently doing up a more concise menu system that means that it's a little bit more it's just better, basically, is the shorthand of it. But because of that, there is a couple of systems I don't want to touch until that's done, because I want to make sure that it's done and ready. So one system I want to potentially look into, actually, so I want to double check how I handle pausing and stuff like that for all the weapons, right? So it goes like that. Cool. Simple enough. What I also want to check then is how do I handle checking for upgrades? So I have equip slots, right? Yeah. Because I have equip slots, then I can probably take the approach that I was thinking. That's good. That's really, really good. Alright, sorry, my brain just kind of did a fucking thing there. Again, this is the problem when it comes to things like what's the best phrasing for it? New features or complete overhauls is like I need to do the mind palace sort of thing for a moment. So what I want to explain about something that I think is really bad practice and I need to change. At the moment, I have all of these sorts of things all over the place because this is my pausing stuff. This is me to be able to pause time sources. I hate this. It means so much of this needs to be like manually set in really horrendous ways. And if you ever look at the error log here, you see cannot change the state of a stateless build in time source. That's because what's happening is like some of these are just not initialized, and because they're not initialized, it's coming back with this error which can just loop up. And I should not be filling an error log with something that is just because I'm lazy. This again is the best example of one of the like shortcuts I made when making the alpha. There was something I came to a realization of when I had already gone this far that required a massive overhaul, and it's something that I've been really considering. So if we go to audio, for example, go to here, you see how I've got a list here, and then I cycle through the list to augment the volume. That's how I handle the volume system. So every sound goes into my array, and then I go through the array and tell it, hey, so that's, I just realized that might have been an issue. I don't know if I realize it. All right. But yeah, no, I go through my entire array and then just tweak the sound accordingly. This will be done fast enough that it shouldn't be noticeable of an issue. So you should be able to just tweak the audio in your menu and then quit out of your menu, and by the time you've quit out your menu, it would have gone through the array. I do not see a different way of doing this. Well, no, let me correct. I see different ways of doing this, but I don't see any that are just that are significantly different than this. The only other things I can think of would just be more manual than this, or yeah. So I found this to be the most automatic way, which means, again, in the future, if I just want to add a sound, boom, I can just type it in there. No issue, right? So what I was thinking, why have I gone on this tangent when I'm talking about the weapon pausing? What if I didn't have, for example with this, it going into a time source, but instead going into a full array and moving itself around? Right? Now, that does bring into question a problem I had in the past, and it took a long time to get to this bit of code here that compensated for it. Now, I wonder how do I want to handle it? So the issue is deleting itself so it doesn't repeat. Because I don't want... So, in short, I don't want the array to bloat. Because if I just made it so it infinitely kept increasing, like especially knowing there are some of these time sources have like a 1 second or less than duration, it means that it will be replacing itself so often that it'll eventually just break. So there is a the weakness in it. Actually, would that solve it? Yes? Sorry, I just came up with a possible solution to work with. So, I'm gonna make a new global array. Create. So I'm going to put it here. I don't know if you already know this, but a certain amount of time, I think, 7 minutes, the boss just suddenly stops attacking and stays in place. Which boss is this? Because that does matter. Because I think if it is the Dullahan, it's not time. I think there's a sub-era where something can knock off balance and it throws the entire ability matrix out. If it's the dragon, then even more so, that one was put together extremely roughly. Because yeah, so there's two bosses in the game. There's the Dullahan and then there's the dragon. I can look into it though, after I get this, because it is a big deal. It's the Dullahan? Okay. Yeah, the Dullahan's got a bit of so there's an error cycle that can occur. I'm not sure how quite yet. But, I do know it exists. Also, yeah, no, I think that is actually kind of news. There is 2 bosses in the game. I don't know if I actually really talked about it on stream. But there is the Golden Dragon. That is the other one. Which I did yoink the sprite from a free non-reference place, but I will not be using it long term. But this is what it looks like, and it actually does have the animating. But yeah, no, trust me when I say that's not going to be what it looks like long term. I will be replacing it with my own art. I'll finish working on this Isabirdi and then I'll get to that afterwards, eh? And we'll start mucking around with the Dullahan to see what the error point is. Because I think I came across something similar myself, and like how his abilities would get mixed around, and he would start like casting after moving and not cast ability sometimes, and just get stuck in place. But no, thank you, please. Honestly, if there's stuff like that in the game, that is game breaking. That's not fun to play against. That ruins the idea of it. So I do want to solve those. Like those are the ones that I'm probably the most like panicky about. Okay. So we have the global time source array. Let's actually call it pause array, so it's really clear what it is for. Again, a misinterpretation of a lot of people when it comes to programming, and this is something that I'll like kind of give as a bit of a programming tutorial here, is that your names need to be short. The shorter the name, the better. Fun fact, the compiler is going to rewrite these names. These names are not what the actual program is going to consider these names to be. Right? With that being the case, it just straight up means that I can name these whatever I want, and the file size or the runtime size and everything doesn't change, which means that I can make it more clear and obvious what this is. So here you can see I've got G_AR, so global array time source pause array, tells me what is it for. It's the array for pausing time sources. Nice and descriptive, isn't it? So again, self-notating code is a very good practice to get into, and that's why you can see a slow transition into replacing a lot of code with this sort of style in mind as I get further and further along. Okay, so now we need to go to weapon equip. So I'm going to leave that there for now, and I'm going to start mucking around with something. So I'm going to actually copy this. And then we're going to, so this will not be used. No, it's array push. Do I want array insert instead? Or is there just a simple... Because push will put it to the end, right? That'll be fine. It's someone that doesn't understand what they're doing. Okay. No, that's really annoying. Okay, that means I want to check one thing about time sources. See. Into the freezing dual hand, apparently I can't take damage at all. Interesting. That's... do you know what items you had equipped for that era? Like items or weapons and all that sort of stuff? Because I'm wondering if that might have an influence on that. Hold on. Cool. Thank you. If worst comes to worst, feel free to send those to me either via Discord or what? If it's like easier to just send a screenshot or anything like that. Because again, I'm more than happy to like try and get these problems nailed. Either Discord or Twitter. Twitter's a good one. Via either my Twitter account or the game's official Twitter account. Okay, I have an idea with this. This is going to be messy in some regards. So I'm going to Iron Mouse equipped, Forgotten Poem, Grand Deck, Mature, Mothaholic, and Demon Blood for items. Okay, so it might be a error that I have with the cleanup on the Grandfather deck, because there is... So a reminder that there is the, one of the effects, Mirror Force, does give damage immunity. It should only give it about 2 or so, well, 2 times by base. I think it goes up by 1 each time. Each level of it. But once the bubble disappears, basically, it should not be any more, instances of, like, damage immunity. If there were more instances of damage immunity post the bubble being destroyed, then yes, that is an issue. And I will look into that right after. Okay, now time source. No, I want its array stuff now. I want. Sorry, give it a moment. It's having a kick in a fit because I opened up another tab or another browser. Okay. But no, thank you again for the feedback on that stuff. Because again, like, if there's a bug, I can't fix it without knowing. So I actually feel really good that people have seen some issues, so I can fix them in time for the next alpha release. Whoops. Which can be one of the constant. The default state for a newly created time source is that. Okay, cool. This may seem weird, but I'm not going to actually start the time source inside of this. So I have created a thing, so we'll add into the thing. Okay, and then I'm going to also do something to make this so I don't have another error type that I had a lot that I shouldn't even have to deal with. There. By doing what I just did now, I can now copy and paste this into every single weapon and item, and it should not have any errors. Because it will just accommodate. As long as I have cooldown, which I could actually technically... change that so I don't have to write out the cooldown thing. Could do this instead. So by doing this, I should not have to do a single thing every time I make these time sources. No preparation, no nothing. They should just be copy and paste. If they're copy and paste, why am I putting them in the thing? I could just make a function. No, that's thinking of portals. Hmm? So, if I'm going to turn this into a function instead of a line of code and everything, nah. Should I? If I do, it makes it more universal. Which is, good. Oh, one of the cats wants it. And you have almost completely slid off your bloody thing. Here you go, cat. All right. So, if this was to be a function, so yeah, we lose that. So we need, I just call it value, right? Yeah. So the one weakness this currently has is that for some items I don't want them to be afflicted by the global cooldown. So I might have to still do cooldown separately. That's fine. Right, and then so... Okay. And it can go into here for now, even though I need to start removing stuff from here. Okay. I guess technically in this sense, yeah, this would work. Okay. What do we think? Looks nice. nice clean thing. Also, I just realized that we can probably just get rid of that there, just to make it look nicer. So, to explain what this is doing, probably best, this is creating a time source based on the duration that's inputted and the value that's inputted. So we'll be putting for weapons, it'll put the weapon values, it will be the struct that the weapon is. So we put in the cooldown, for example, goes there. Then it'll put the weapon in here. It'll trigger the weapon's function with the weapon into it. And it'll continue on. Then what it does is it adds this to the array of the global at the maximum length, which means that it will go. So again, keep this in mind with length. This is the big misunderstanding with a lot of arrays. Arrays start at 0, length counts. So the first variable is at 0.0, but the length is 1. So by doing this, I'm telling it take the length of the array and then insert at the end of the array this variable. I could just push. Yeah, no, I might as well just push at this point because of the way I've done this. A push would be better. Why am I so stupid? Always do the simpler answer. Because I'm not doing the other thing I was going to do. So yes, this is even simpler now. So this pushes, which just puts it at the end of the current array. That's it. The reason why I was going to do the array insert is because I was also going to then pull the array insert location and start it here. I'm not going to be starting inside of this function because with time sources, there is 4 states a time source can be in. Those 4 states are initial, active, pause, and stopped. Initial means it hasn't started yet. Active means it's currently ticking. Paused means that it is paused. And stopped means that it is completed. Or expired. I'm going to make, in like the system that will handle the pausing stuff, it will start all that are considered initial. It will pause when it is set to pause, and it will pause all that are active. It will unpause all that are paused when set to unpause, and it will delete all that are considered stopped. By doing this, it means that I'm keeping a workflow system that will clean itself up and keep itself managed. It also means that this function doesn't have to do as much heavy lifting. And it makes it much more streamlined, as we see here. Again, this could be made so I could just copy and paste it and everything, but like, why should I make a thing that copy paste everywhere when I can just make a single thing that it puts in two variables, and I'm faster with that. So that is the general idea with this, and that replaces all of this once I have the framework set up. And it means that, like, so one error that was happening quite a lot and really sent me through a fucking ringer a few times is this here. Now, you might not think it, but when... So, yeah. Not bad. I'd say, anyway. Not bad at all. So, let's start designing the pause structure. So, again, I do not want to be deleting what is currently here. However, we want to do quite a few things here. So we'll do it inside of here at the top. So first we do a for loop. No. Wait. Do an if statement here. Also, what is this fucking music? I think that goes like that. Why do I keep doing that? My brain is just not there, is it? And then boom. So must be active. If it's active, then it will pause it. This is where we add the rest of the functionality so we can just ensure things are paused. So I want to stress the reason why I've done it this way is it means that if you start a time source during this, it means that it is guaranteed to be activated after pause. It's just a little thing that I thought would probably be best. So first we'll do deleting what is currently there. I mean, we can pretty much just yoink most of this, I'll be honest. We just need to change... like that. That's genuinely how easy this is gonna start becoming. Whoops, that was the wrong thing. That one. And then we need is initial. Time source start. And then is paused. Time source resume. Seems pretty good. Like that's it, pretty much. Like I'll add some notation to this. I will also, since we don't want to clog the array up, ooh, how do we want to do that? I know. No, there's no point then. I'll do it the other way. I need to make a sub array. Okay, so what actually happens when I do destroy a time source? Is there really even a point in doing the destroyer? I will remove it from here and just put it down here. Well, I do... This is going to be really strange. So I'm going to have to do a really weird way of doing this. Actually, wait, is that the way I want to do this? This is gonna look really strange because of the way I want to do this. Yeah, I'm sure there's a fucking syntax error. It's the other way around, isn't it? Okay, going back to array functions. What was the one for? It's just array delete, no? Yeah. Okay. Oh, morning, Max. As you can see, I'm restructuring my pause erase system, and it's going well so far. I believe I should just need to put one in, because then it will just delete the one that I'm wanting it to delete. Okay. I don't need to do this delete here, but it's just a might as well sort of thing. It's the same with like, I don't think I need to do this time source destroy. Like a depleted time source. A stopped time source being destroyed and then the location of its data being deleted should very much be double dipping, but I'm just doing it for cautionary sake. Might as well, right? Gotta get better at my cleanup. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, what this is currently doing... Oh, I need to put probably a -1 here, right? Yeah. So what this should be doing is it should go through my hold array list. So, okay, let's start from the top. Create a hold array list. Go through the list of time sources. If it has a stopped time source, if the one it goes onto time source is stopped, it'll push the location to the hold array. Go through, do all of that. When it's finished with that, it'll go to the hold array. If the hold array is not length of 0, which it would be if it hasn't gotten a push, then it'll move on. Otherwise, it will start this. It will get the array length, so it starts at the back end first, and it will delete from the furthest variables down of the array, going slowly backwards, meaning that the variable locations do not change. Or the array locations do not change for the later deletions. This should work, all things considered. So while this is greater than or equal to 0, it will keep going, otherwise this will end. And then afterwards it deletes the hold array. Okay. Okay, there we go. I think this is a way better system. It's because of the grandfather deck. Yeah, no, I knew it would be the grandfather's deck. I just don't know. Is it just permanent damage immunity that you're getting as a birdie, or is it only when you've got the mirror shield? Because that is how it's supposed to work. It doesn't reflect that well, I'll mind you, but yeah, permanent. Okay. I will look into that then, because that entire item was put together extremely poorly, I'll be honest. It was a hell of a fucking patch job. Is it permanent all the time, or is it only permanent after like some levels? If you happen to know there's a specific event that triggers it, I'd love to know, but otherwise, yeah. Wonder, because again, like that entire system needs an overhaul. So I just want to know what errors I might need to account for as I go. After some leveling. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's more than enough to go off. Alright, but we'll try and sort out the Dullahan first. Once we get to that, after I finish this. Okay, I think by all theory this should work well. Yep, I think that's that prepped and ready. So I'm going to delete all of that and add in that. Okay. With this having been done, just here, let's test it. First, we need to see compile. Compiles. We're looking for specifically a non-feather. God damn it, at this rate it would have been fucking far. There we are. Okay, so anonymous feather, we need to see it trigger and multi-trigger. It's not firing. Why is it not firing? Got the immunity problem again. You don't have to... Okay, this is going to sound really weird of a question. Is that within the same time of the game being launched as you having had it? So what I mean is, did you close the game, then reopen it, and then have it? Or have you... Is this another run within the same time of the client being open? Because then I definitely have something I can refer to it as a problem. Like, I don't know what it is for that. And that's something that is just me being lazy, if it is the case. You've closed the game, then opened it. Is it still permanent invulnerability? Or is it just like... Because you are supposed to have a bit of a damage invulnerability time. Okay, then something's happening that I'll need to fix. That's actually much higher priority. I need to write that one down, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of these today. Because this is taking longer than I thought it was going to. So give me a second. I'm going to write some of these down as a little free thing, time, when I have free time to solve these. So we have boss, Dullahan, AI issues, and I'll let you write quickly a little side note to that. With and without. GD. All right. Take advantage of it, yeah. Hey, I wouldn't blame people for taking advantage of it now. Though, to be fair, there's not really any big advantage to it at this stage. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this and we're going to go back to the old thing. What does this have that the other one didn't? Starts the time source. That's the only difference. Anonymous feather is it 3? Yeah. Hey Iron Mouse, help me with some testing. Yeah, so they're not firing. Whereas if we go back to the weapon and then undo that. It does work. Oh god, that's just gonna. So why does that function break this? Okay, let's forego the function and see what happens if we just put this in manually. All I need to change is this one. Okay, there was a hitch there. So this just doesn't... Okay. That solves that aspect of it. That's fine. So that means I feel a bit more better about this. Because then I can just put this in and then we muck with this. So why is this not working? Whoops, that's the wrong launch type. I need to relaunch and debug to get this correct. Okay, and then I want to look at controller player. I want to look at the step event. It's not re-triggering. Well, this isn't actually triggered. This just looked like the value 6. Do I need to do it inside of this? Wrong type of launch again. Need to remember that I need to launch in debug. What does it mean by 6? Happened during the 7-minute mark. There is probably an answer to that, and it's simply I have really unrefined code, and by 7 minutes the code starts unraveling. That's probably what's actually happening, I'll be honest. Okay, I might have to start the thing then. In there. Because to be fair, like, I've had some issues before then, but most of my issues are normally... Alright. Okay. It's as simple as I need to actually start the ID in its own space. That's fine. I tried to be fancy. That's what I get. So this part here doesn't do anything then. Cool. However, that's a big deal because now this piece of code replaces that entire chunk. And I can just do... Oh fuck, where is it in this? Here. So this is something that I should have cleaned up a long time ago. See if that actually works properly. Because I was always scared to touch that one. Because yeah, like, so when it comes to this code, I'm not going to give any false illusions that, like, there's a good chance that it is just unraveling at 7 minutes because it is so rough. That's why I'm doing stuff like this. This is a huge optimization here. That means a lot of resources that were getting used and having to be checked is now taken out of the equation. That means I'm also checking some things that should have been touched upon a long, long time ago. There's a lot that needs to be fixed here. I'd like, look how easy this is to set up. Is as simple as this. So nice. Isn't it supposed to be this? Like this DS list stuff that I do, I want to do substantially better soon as well. Just like every AAA game company, rush deadlines, bugs, overwhelm, stress, and hate. Yeah. That is far too fucking accurate nowadays, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, and that's why at the moment it's all about taking things slow and making sure everything is just cleaned up so that the first thing you guys get from this point onwards is just a nicely refined version of what I've already done. That is my goal. Like, there is only a couple of things I want to add in the next alpha point. Just if I have the time to get them ready and everything. But outside of that, most of the stuff between now and the next alpha is just going to be what you're seeing here, basically. Is like these refinements behind the scenes, bringing them up to snuff. The difference between me and a AAA developer, though, and I'll say this in the nicest way possible, is that I'm actually transparent about the fact of, like, why was the alpha release so bad? It's like, well, it's because it's a fucking alpha release. If you expected anything more from this early on, I'll be kind of saying it's on you. Like, the biggest problem with fucking AAA is that it's executive and it's publicly traded, right? That's so they can get sued by their stakeholders if they make decisions that are for the players and not for the company. I wish that was a joke. I fucking hate it. Maybe a father would turn invisible, yeah. Do be like that. So now this is where it's getting interesting, because I can do the same thing here, but I need to change this. It's on level ups, so that's fine. So yeah, like I can just put in the raw value like this, if I must. Which is, not bad. Okay, God, where is the thing for it? There, time source. Technically, the cooldown is not the same as the tick timer for this one. Oh, that's so nice. And then these things here I can also add to it as well when I clean them up, because good God, they need a lot of cleanup. And like the same with these as well. Like this is actually really incredible because it means that I can stop using these global variables to pause things. Sure, it means that there's a little bit more work that I'll need to do, but like holy shit, do you have any idea how much like this cleans up for me? Oh, it's so nice to have this. I love my transparent. God damn it. Okay, so there's a lot that I'll need to do little mini tweaks on that I don't really want to do on stream because they're going to be like, I say mini tweaks. There are lots of little tiny things that I need to move around and they're just going to be fucking annoying and I don't want to do them right now. That's the short answer. But let's launch the game quick and just double check that all of this is running well. So let's just pick any other character. Okay, it's fired. It's gonna fire again. Yep. Cool. No, it's fucking awesome that I've got that. Cool. That cleans up a lot of time for me. Again, this is something I've thought about weeks ago implementing, and you would have argued, it's like, well, look how fast it was to implement now. Why didn't you do it earlier? That's how fucking intense everything else was. Because like it's, well, the system works. Fucking move on. It's about getting the things that didn't work working, not the things that could have been improved better. Now I'm focusing on that. And the things that aren't working. It's interesting that at 7 minutes you become invulnerable to damage. Why would that be the case? Hey, Isabird, are you still there? Because I wanted to ask you something. Are you hearing the damage noises? Like you are, as if you're getting hit. Because that would actually be the most interesting part of that, now that I think on it. Because if you're hearing still damage being taken, then that means it's lag. If you're not hearing that, then that means it's an error. I could try and launch it myself and get to 7 minutes. Actually, I should probably switch back the thing. Thing they left? Yeah, quite possibly. Well, if, that's what I say, if they're still here, that would have been nice info, but I'll live without it. But again, we'll just do a quick run of it and see. Okay, so I didn't take grandfather's deck, so we have that as an insurance thing. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, what's this era? Never seen this one before. At 81. After making you invulnerable, what would you do? I mean, I actually basically living in that situation right now. don't know. I've lived in a very hard, in a sense, life for some stuff. In my past. And... interesting. Okay. How do I best define it? Like, at the moment you're seeing... I don't know if it's been very visible, but I have definitely gotten a little bit more colder again, a bit more closer to what I used to be. Just because, yeah, no, I'm just closing off. I'm not letting things get closer. Because I just don't want to be hurt again, and that's a very normal human reaction. So, yeah, no, simply what I'm doing in that situation is double and triple checking who I can trust, I guess, is the first thing I did. And then once I'd done that, I made sure that they, those that I could trust, I felt like I could, and then, yeah. Then post that, I just closed off to the people that I couldn't trust. I don't waste my time, in a sense, I guess you could say. Because why be with people that are going to cause more problems? This is a very weird error to occur, by the way, that I don't understand quite how it's happened. Outside of maybe I pushed a button too fast. I'm gonna have to test the 7 minutes thing out another time, I think. Just because, like, that error basically put a pin in it. But yeah, is a birdie, if you are still here, or if you do end up watching this later, yeah, tell me if the damage sound was still proccing. When you were in the kind of immune to damage state. Because that would define to me whether or not it is an error with my time source, I believe, because I think I have a time source when on taking damage. Yeah, player damaged. Because if it's not if you're not taking any damage, so if the damage is below 0 or equal to 0, like if it's 0 or less, you won't be taking damage, which means the sound won't play. Because you see here, the sound plays immediately. There's another thing I should mention, which is, was it Kimcho and Satanic Resilience does make appear that you're not taking damage, just because the synergy of it is really, really strong. One that I knew would be strong going into it, and am willing to tweak accordingly when I need to. Because there's this function here, this functionality that means that you shouldn't be able to take damage for half a second. I don't know if I implemented that correctly though, did I? Yeah, no, player damage and all that. It's an exit there, okay, cool. Because, yeah, it's potentially stuff is starting to become unrefined and lag, which I know a very clear answer for fixing lag issues. because I am not doing enough cleanup. There is a few things I need to do for cleanup a bit later down the line. One big one that I'm going to do, which is going to be a nasty overhaul to my enemy system. But this should mean that you take damage again. If you have damage preventions, it triggers the damage prevention stuff, deletes the current of that one. Let's see, I'm thinking about getting a house since I only have to pay half of what I used to. Give way better advice to the internet, so should I? It's relative to your area and the economic standing. Like what's the tax rates? Because keep in mind, like you've got mortgage and you've got rates that you're going to have to pay. Most of the time for a house of equivalent size, it's actually just cheaper to get the mortgage and the rates paid. Keep in mind as well, rates are paid at a quarterly, so if 4 times a year your rates need to be paid. So like I think the rates in my area are like 140-ish range, like a little over 100 basically, per month, per every 3 months. Need a small one for one person. Yeah, well, I mean, like, with that being the case, those are normally in high contention is the problem. So that's where that can come to being a problem. The first thing I would say is you'd need to be talking with your bank, though. So your bank are the ones that will give you, like, the mortgage and stuff like that. I don't know what your, like, if you've got first home or anything like that systems like we have in New Zealand, to get you into buying a house easier. But keep in mind that, like, roughly speaking, you're gonna need, I think it's like is it a 10 or 15% deposit. So look at the houses in the areas that you're looking. Sitting on like 150k. Okay, so that shouldn't be too bad then, because you'll probably be able to cover almost the majority of things. Then you could probably have a reduced mortgage rate or mortgage time as well with that, which means once the mortgage is paid, you just need to pay rates. Which, like, if you think about, to give an idea, like what I just said earlier, that's about $100-something per 3 months. You need to pay rates, and then you need to pay like pretty much nothing else in the house. So get a cheapy little rabbit hut. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's always another consideration to not ignore if you have the money and the someone that you can trust for it is like finding a cheap plot of land, because it's often, sometimes, not always, cheaper to actually just get a bit of land and then get a house built. Especially knowing you have to consider, if you buy a house, all of the problems that happen to that house you have to cover. So like if guttering gets messed up, you have to cover that. Leaks, anything. So it's really, really essential to make sure that you get a house that, normally you want a house that has low requirements for that stuff, unless you're willing to put in that effort and money. But sometimes it is just cheaper to actually just buy a plot of land than buy like pay a builder and go build me a house, because then you can also get some the house built kind of to you what you want. But keep in mind that's something that I actually can't give you a lot of research on, because that's very much like price ranges in your area. I can speak to where I live that's actually not that far off the case, that it's cheaper to do that. If it wasn't for the fact that resources are more scarce, so you would be on a wait list more than you would be on anything else. Like, you could pay for the land, you could pay for the builder, you can do all of that, but you'd be on a wait list until you get the house. And that's the problem. I'm gonna have to call it there, because if y'all remember, today is a day I have to finish early because my lectures start at when I would normally end. So with that being the case, land prices here are insane. 30k per acre. That's, I mean, I can't speak to that because over here, to give an idea, like a quarter acre section will run you about 100 to 200,000. Roughly where I live. So if you wonder why I say housing prices suck here. But yeah, no, so with that, going back to it though, with that being the case, thank you so much for watching. You're all, hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment on the video. It'd be very much appreciated. Helps the video out more than you might know. Also, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell to find out when I go live, as well as following me over on Twitter/X, where I do post when I'm going live, as well as some of my thoughts and feelings. As well, with this game, it is in an alpha release. There is an itch.io link in the description, as well as links on that page to the YouTube and Twitter, where I do post information relative to just the game. At the YouTube's going to probably just be dev diaries until abilities and EXEs are done, and then I will do little character shorts and other detailed in-depth things. I am considering doing kind of like an overall talk session over on that channel as well, but it will also be where trailers and stuff like that are posted, so it's a good place to find out information relative to here. I don't think there's anything else really to talk about, so please enjoy the weekend, because this is the last stream of the week. I will see you on Monday with hopefully the game that I've been I kickstarted or helped kickstart, and I am really excited to play. A lovely little puzzle game made by a German developer that I follow. Just go play a game, tell me your feedback, and enjoy your weekend. But otherwise, yeah, come on, work thing. There we go. All right. So once again, though, thank you so much for watching. You're awesome. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.